Good afternoon. Today it's kind of cold out. We had ice storm last night. Snow and ice, the fun stuff. But it makes an opportunity to bring to you guys Tamdhu. This is batch strength 004, 57 point, I think that's an 8. Or maybe it's just 57.8%, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 57.8% alcohol by volume. Tamdhu, this one does not have an age statement. This one also is considered by some other reviewers as probably not the better choice of the batch strengths, but I would argue that in a way. I think it's all in the purpose, personally. It's a good, we'll get into it. Let's just leave it at that. First fill, Oloroso, sherry cask, both American and European sherry casks. What else is they have if you go on and just kind of do a little exploration, they do have some YouTube videos that explains a lot of things. It's pretty neat. I watched them. I enjoyed them. I don't know what else to really say. Art Deco bottle, beautiful, beautiful bottles. This was more expensive than the first one that come out, which I did not purchase, but I wish I had of. But it has gone up in price since then. Nice dark color. You can see for yourselves. It's beautiful Oloroso color. Beautiful Oloroso color. Beautiful, that sherry cask imparted color. I don't know about. I don't have it out with me, so I'll put it in the description if it's a non-chill filter and natural color. I think it's probably natural color myself, but I can't prove it. But this bottle doesn't state on it. Anyway, let's get down to it. I can smell it coming off here. There is some sherry component to this coming off here, but it does come across and it's a very spicy whiskey, and you're going to understand more when we get into it. Yeah, I'm using Fuji water today. Fiji. No, Fiji. Oh God, it's gonna be one of them days. Now on the nose, you do get more of a sherry component noticeable on this. To me, it's more of the stewed apples, cinnamon, nutmeg, black pepper. Very spicy even in the nose. But there's a nice background of almost a stewed apple, maybe a fruit compote. It's almost as if you took apples and pears, a few plums, dried, macerated it all together. There's a little bit of a sweet component stuck in there, but it's from the fruit sweetness. Let's go into the palate, boys and girls. When I first opened it, it belted you pretty hard with that 57.8. But now that it's been opened, I leave the cork off for an hour. I generally do that twice. You do it during the first pour, like I did last night. I got the Penrite Smoky 12. I left that cork off for an hour. Played 4 or 5 games of pool, poured me 2 drams out of it, left off. Now I'll probably do that again. Nah, that one I probably won't. It's only 46%, and it's not belting me hard. When they belt you hard like this one, that's when I generally do it a second time. Usually always one time though. And Ralphie mentions it, and that's where I got the idea from. It's not something I come up with on my own, but it helps. Spicy. This is spice-driven one. I've never had any of the others, so I can't speak to them. But everybody else says this one's heavily spice-driven, the other ones are not. And that's true, this is. Loads of cinnamon and black pepper. A little bit of chili powder stuck in there somewhere. It does maintain a little bit of a syrupy mouthfeel to it. You know, at this high proof, you generally don't get the Scotch mist. But right there in the very bottom of it, maybe just a little bit forming. Maybe where the oil's collected right here at the bottom of the glass, you got just a little bit of it forming. So, but I believe it's, the high proof usually doesn't exhibit Scotch mist. It's been my experience anyway. Yeah, we got plenty of legs, plenty of viscosity. You can see the coldness there. Because it's cold out here. Obviously, we have ice. But this is why I'm doing it outside on this time period. Because this is a cold weather. I mean, this just goes great in this kind of weather. I love it in this kind of weather. Drinking it neat. We do, back to the palate. I've already went way too far off. Back to the palate, another little sip. There is sherry there. And from the different reviews I watched, a lot of people didn't notice too much sherry once it got in the palate. But I do. It's not bold. The spice definitely is the dominant. I mean, it's very spicy. But like right now, the sherry component, now that the spiciness has retreated off the top of it, the sherry component lingers on the sides and the back of the tongue. Again, with those plums, it's more of a stewed, like a compote, really, like a macerated stewed compote to me. It's not particularly heavily dried fruits. They're, you know, I would go with a little peach in this, dried peaches even. I would go with dried peaches, pears, apples, plums. But it comes across more of a stewed fruit. Dried stewed fruits. You just got to give it time. You got to give it time to develop. I can't tell you if it's as good as the others. I can't go down that road with you because I don't have that knowledge. I can tell you though, I like this. Now, again, I must paraphrase that with I like it in cold conditions. It just hits the spot in these kind of conditions. A little bit more of the sherry notes in the wood. The wood really shows up now a little bit. Vanillas. Get a little bit more of the vanillas in the wood now that I've added a little water to it. And a little bit more of the sherry shows up as well. Palate. Still spice driven on the palate though. Still heavily spice driven on the palate. But to me it's a nice spice. It's not I enjoy it. That's the only thing I can really say about it. I like the spice drive on this one. Because I've had spicy whiskeys that, I don't know, just don't do it. This one does. It's got enough of the sherry left that it really, when it shows up, it shows up pleasantly. It's not bold, it's not out there, it's not coming at you, but it shows up pleasantly, according to what I the feeling I get off of that, how I interpret it, how my body, my mind, my mouth, my senses are interpreting it. That's a better way to put it. Would I call it overwhelmingly great? No. It's good though. This is a good solid whiskey. This is a good 88. 88 out of 100 for me. If this was dead heat summertime, this would probably be a lot lower score. This one's score is driven by conditions and perception. This is not a summertime whiskey. Not for me anyway. Alright, well, I said about all there is to say. So remember, the spirit in your glass ain't running from you. Take your time, sip, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Talk to y'all later.